Welcome to UC News, ucnewscanada.ca. The Canadian Crisis Response. I'm Dr. Dave. In the COVID crisis, Canadian politicians made business deals with multinational pharmaceutical corporations to develop vaccines, rejecting their democratic duty as elected representatives to call on the vast pool of highly talented Canadians with existing expertise, then refusing to recognize our charter rights to fact-based reason and reasonable limits, rejecting evidence that vaccine development was only possible based on the results of public research. The direct result was a handful of people claiming the right to billions of dollars each, holding the world hostage unless they get more. We understand these as war crimes against humanity based on false claims of totalitarian ownership. Since World War II, we now understand the personality type willing to cause the death of millions of people as they drive for world domination, assisted by politicians also seeking complete removal of freedoms of self-determination, who naturally exclude the vast pool of Canadian talent from consideration. In this manner, crime is committed against Canadians. Section 1 of our Canadian Constitution requires root cause analysis. Articles 21, 22, 25, 27, 28, and 29 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights describes these war crimes exactly. But here, I challenge Canadians from coast to coast to a root cause analysis of the medical problem. Authorized to create a National Security Initiative, NSI 5417, I make the following claims, inviting all Canadians with a solution to join the Energy Research Group, ERG. Claim 1. That molecular medicine lacks a firm basis in the fundamental physics of force, energy, distance, and time. 2. That the Coulomb equation of electrical bonding directly describes curved spacetime. 3. That the electric and magnetic components of the photon are not spread out, but are finite, oscillating locally in exchange with mass, appearing as a matter wave over time, creating a kinetic model of motion. 4. That the spherical symmetry of the electron is reduced by attachment of a polarized photon motor to generate kinetic motion. 5. That a neutron cannot diffract without an attached polarized photon, the absence of which defines absolute zero. 6. That the energy of the electron is finite and the extent of its influence limited, with relativistically invariant charge being maintained by consumption of rest mass. 7. That as an electron binds to a proton, an ordered system is created, in which entropy is defined by the irreversible production of a photon that cannot be returned to restore the system without work done. 8. All photon interactions with matter are irreversible. 9. The potential of the electron to accelerate a distant proton can be calculated by independent properties of the particles using reduced symmetry. 10. That the area under the energy distance curve of an electron or proton can be calculated as an additive sum of equal finite elements, such that the total electric charge equals 1, such that the quantized rate of mass charge exchange at distance d generates a constant product of energy and time. 11. That an electron bound to a proton is confined to an electric isopotential surface of the proton, with its trajectory described by an affine geodesic. 12. That the probability of radius variation in atomic hydrogen relates directly to the spectral line width, later broadened in spectral analysis by processes of diffraction or refraction. 13. That a proton bound to move across an an electric isopotential surface of an anion has a strong force diameter far less than its de Broglie wavelength of motion, with further bonding to additional electrons requiring a single theory of mass consistent with Newton's laws of motion as expressed by the Bohr equation. 14. Conservation of energy momentum constrains the Bohr model to be a valid subset of broader quantum theory. When the electron gains energy by radial acceleration in transition between states, such that half the kinetic energy gained is released as a photon, then the electric field gradient of the photon must equal the radial gradient of the electron. 15. In this manner, we can now calculate the symmetry, structure, and energy of metals, minerals, and molecules, providing a firm basis for medicine and material science, driving Canada forward to a new frontier of healthcare, energy science, and industry. If you are a Canadian with a firm grasp in the foundational mathematics describing nature and have a solid understanding of the implications for analytical chemistry, electron microprobe analysis, X-ray and neutron diffraction, predictive drug synthesis, and crystalline electrochemical battery design, having cracked some of the above energy problems, contact me in confidence at ucnewscanada@gmail.com using NSI 5417 in the subject line. We will meet as a team and lay out a secure course for Canada's energy future.